See the moonlights on the town. Whoa, I'm getting ready. Tallawah TV is in the town. Whoa, I'm getting ready. Got a corner on the telephone. Yeah, this is the Ocean of the Messenger, and you're watching Tallawah TV with the host and best Davis. Take it away.
Can you hear any background noise from my end by any chance?
No, I'm not hearing any background noise. I think it's very quiet.
Okay, great, because I've
Yeah.
actually got someone, I think someone's like having a party close by, so the music's actually
Oh,
quite loud.
okay. What type of party? Is it Jamaican party?
If only it's not. It sounds very British, I'm afraid. So,
Oh, okay. I see. No reggae
but no,
music, eh?
yeah, it's not my type of music, and I'm guessing it won't be your type of music neither.
No,
So I
no.
won't extend the invite. So, coach, have you brushed aside our opening match defeat, World Cup qualifier defeat at the hands of Mexico?
Yes, I actually not thinking about it because when you look at the table, Mexico is the only team in the win column right now. Everybody else have a point. Jamaica's at their foot with 0 point. So I'm not too worried about it. I mean, if it was say in the middle of the campaign or to the end, then I would be worried. But for now, I think I'm okay. I accept defeat. We made an error, and we have to live with it. Sadly, but it
I
is what
like
it
your
is.
I like your positivity. Somebody has to remain positive. If you were the coach of the team, obviously we know in real life you are actually a football coach. But if you were the coach of the Reggae Boys, what would you do differently going into the game against Panama?
Um, I would look at what transpired in Mexico and then make my assessment and then select my squad to go into that game. But you have to remember that there were 8 top players that was left in Jamaica who couldn't take part in the Mexico leg. But I I think I think we have a good squad, and I think further down the road we might have new personnel coming in. But for now, I am happy. I'm excited with this squad, and I think we can do some damage in Concacaf.
When you look back at the last couple of games, so in the Gold Cup as well as our last match against Mexico, one of our downside is that we have failed to grab the game by the scruff of the neck. And in that press conference ahead of tomorrow's game, Tapa did agree that, this is one of his major concerns that we're not grabbing the game by the scruff of the neck. He did say that is a major concern of his, and both him and the technical staff are looking to address the issue. So, as you are a coach, how do you address that issue of the fact that, we're not able to just grab the game by the scruff of the neck and see out applaudable results?
And he's absolutely right. What I think Tapa and his technical staff need to do is look at the games, look at the footings of the game, and see where the problem is. Um, I'm looking at the Mexico game, and we were well organized in defense. We Mexico had the lion's share of possession, but at the same time we were competing with Mexico. But in the 86th minute, when substitution of Grant took place, I was watching it on the telly, and I said, "Oh my God, I don't think he should be out of the game because he was organizing the midfield so very well." Now, when you look at how we give up the last goal, I think what Tapa should have done is kept Grant on. We have another central defender, is a young kid. He's 19 years old, but haven't played international game. But he's a defensive minded youngster. So I would probably put him in the game, maybe in midfield beside Grant, so he can do most of the running and clean up all those loose balls. And I think we would have seen the game through. We have to learn to manage games. When you're in a fight and you're in the 75th, 80th minute, now there is grinding time. It's not gonna be pretty football, but you have to learn to manage the game.
You're definitely right about that. I think the defense was organized, but to an extent, because if you look back at that game against Mexico, I think it's safe to say that our the two goals that was conceded is somewhat down to defensive fragility and just our defense being switched off at times. And you know how it goes in football, all it takes is just one moment. And that's exactly what happened to us, particularly with Mexico's match winning goal. And in terms of Grant, I think we can all agree that he put in a excellent shift. Tupper did address the issue around Grant's substitution, and he did say that he admitted that although he had an excellent game, unfortunately he just didn't have the legs to take us over the line, hence the substitution.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right there. But if you're in a game and you have a player, the game is 90 minutes and he plays 86 minutes. I'm pretty much sure Grant has played over 600 games in club football in England. He's very much experienced. He can manage his way to grind it out to play the full game, the full 90 minutes. And there were 4 minutes added time. I mean, I think he's experienced enough to manage himself. And I'm not gonna blame the coach a lot. I'm just gonna say we made a mistake and we have to live by it and we have to move on to the next one.
Absolutely. And we know by footage that's been going around on social media that there seems to be a lot of togetherness even before the Mexico game and before tomorrow's match will kick off, which will kick off Sunday 11 p.m. UK time. Even before these two games, you've seen in the last couple of camps that there seems to be this real togetherness and positivity amongst the Reggae Boys team. Can you see that playing into our advantage going into our home game against Panama?
Yes, I think the boys are together. Um, I have spoken to a few players, including Grant, and the team is well together. They're jovial. I mean, they're when they hang out together. They get that bonding going on, and I think that will help them going into the game tomorrow.
Absolutely. How excited are you to see the possible debuts of Kimar Roof and Mikel Antonio? That does actually enhance our goal scoring ability. We always had the ability to score plenty of goals. Unfortunately, the last couple of games has gone against us, but scoring goals has always been one of our strengths. And also the defense as well, but the midfield area has been our weakest component. But how excited are you to see the possibility of Kimar Roof and Mikel Antonio?
Oh, this is huge. This is big. And I'm gonna say it, I'm over the moon. And one of the reasons is because I have been one of the person who have recommended both players to represent Jamaica, the land of their heritage. And I think they grab it with both hands. And I can't wait to see both of them hit the pitch running.
And in terms of the Panama team, like we know they're not going to be a pushover. I guess in some sense that loss is probably a wake-up call for us that we shouldn't take these opponents lightly. Not that the guys would have gone in the Mexico game and thinking that, it's an easy win or a walk in the park, but most certainly Panama is not a team that we can just overlook, even though we're playing back at the office. What do you make of this Panama team, and how do you unlock their motivation? Because obviously they're going into this game on a high.
Um, Panama is not a pushover. I have watched them over the years, and they have also been Jamaica's bogey team. They come into the office and you expect to beat them, and suddenly they steal one away from you, and you're wondering what happened. But I think the boys are aware of what's at hand, and I don't think at this time Panama is gonna steal one from us. These players gonna go out there and they're gonna fight to get a win at home, because if you have the home field advantage, you have to take it. You have to take the bull by the horn. And I mean, if you remember the bull and the matador, if you don't kill the bull is gonna kill you. So we're gonna take the Panama team as the bull, and we're gonna go out and we're gonna take it by the horn, and we're gonna win this game. And I hope and pray that everything will be well tomorrow.
How do you address that midfield issue though? Because I think with the last game, again, yes, and Anthony Grant put in an excellent shift, but one of the missing issues within the team is that the missing ingredient within midfield from the Mexico game is that added creativity. So how do you put that right against Panama?
Well, when you look at the national team right now, I think barring the team that went to Mexico, you're looking at 8 players that were left in Jamaica, and I'm gonna name them: Michael Antonio, Kemar Roof, Liam Moore, Ethan Pinnock, Ravel Morrison. Now, Ravel is a maestro in what we call in Jamaica. He is an instrumental player. He can make this team tick. Daniel Johnson, to a lesser extent, he is another crafty player. He can make this team go a far way. Then you have Bobby Reed, Premier League experience. He might not be in the Premier League right now, but I think there is the fix for our midfield. I mean, we have a little bit of creativity and a little bit of steel in Anthony Grant. I think we'll be fine going into tomorrow's game.
I'm actually really glad that you brought up Ethan Pinnock. Let's look back at the Gold Cup and how excellent our backline was, particularly centre back pairing of Liam Moore and Damian Lowe. How do you accommodate Ethan Pinnock into that backline? What do you do as a coach?
Well, it is good to have as a coach. There are good things with that Jamaica team, and no coach would want to have that problem. But it's a good thing and it's a bad thing. Now, if you start, say, Liam Moore and Damian Lowe, and things not going right, and when you look at your bench, you see a Ethan Pinnock, or vice versa, you see a Liam Moore, or you see a Damian Lowe, then you know that you have a good defensive team. And to a lesser extent, the old guard, Adrian Mariappa. I'm not gonna write him off. I think he did well in Mexico. I mean, he's 35 years old. He has been playing for Jamaica since 2012. And I think we have a good back line. But if I was the coach and all is fit and healthy and raring to go, I would employ a new strategy. Maybe people would have said why, but I would play 3 central defenders tomorrow, and fullbacks, and I play a 3-5-2 formation and see where it takes us from there. With that firepower up front and with Ravel in the midfield, who can get the ball to those front two. Oh my God, I think we're in for a treat tomorrow.
Interesting analysis there. Would you fancy seeing Damian Lowe drop into midfield with a centre back pairing of Moore and Pinnock? Because that is a possibility.
Yes, that's also come to mind because if Anthony Grant, I mean, he just played 86 minutes in Mexico. I mean, he's 34 years old and he's going on to Costa Rica the next game next week Wednesday. And say for instance, you can share the workload between him and Damian and Speedy, if needs be, then that would be good for Damian to play in the middle of the park because he's a very good tackler. He reads the game well. High balls, he's very good at winning high balls, breaking up plays, intercepting plays, going to the back line. That's a good thing. That's a good thing.
I think we can all bank our money on Andre Blake keeping his position in goal. I don't think that's a position that will be touched just because of how many stellar performances he's put in for us over the years, and obviously he's also our captain. So that's something we can definitely count on. We've touched on what the defense might look like, and for the midfield, could you elaborate on how you think our midfield position will look?
I I'm pretty much sure that Ravel will be in there. If you play Anthony Grant in Kappa loves to play a 4-2-3-1, and if he employs that formation, then you might have Grant with Ravel in front of them. You might have a Daniel Johnson, a Michael Antonio coming off the right, Bobby Reed coming off the left, and Kemar up top. As your out and out number nine. He's a goal poacher. Antonio and Kemar can switch at times. Because when you have two player of that caliber, there's no defense in CONCACAF who wants to see that. It's like a freight train coming at you. You don't want to be there.
It is frightening stuff. Imagine Michael Antonio charging at you. I mean, if I'm the defender, I'm definitely getting out of his way.
Oh my God.
Do you think that because this game's going to be played behind closed doors, do you think this is a slight advantage for Panama? Because we know within ourselves that Jamaica can be a hostile crowd.
Absolutely not. Um, and the reason being is that the Jamaica crowd can be a hostile crowd, yes, but if you're playing in front of your home crowd in Jamaica and things are not going to plan, the Jamaica crowd can get against its own team. So the stadium being quiet, I think the guys will go out and they will put the best foot forward and they will deliver a good result tomorrow.
What's your prediction? Because I know you're high on confidence. Like you're saying that it's going to be a win back at the office tomorrow. So what's your prediction and who are your goal scorers?
I'm saying 3-1. I'm looking to see Michael Antonio get on the scoreboard. I'm looking to see Kemar Roof, and I'm looking to see Bobby Reed. And that's where my three goals should be coming from. If I get more, I'll take it. I heard people predicting bold prediction that Michael Antonio will score a hat trick, and if he score a hat trick and debut in on home side, then kudos to him.
That's some statement if it were to happen, isn't it?
Oh my goodness, it would be.
And it's interesting to see that again. We've all known, over the last couple of games that one of our strongest areas, as I've stated, is the forward line, our strikers and our forwards. So the squad depth is there, most certainly. But how do you bring the likes of Junior Flemings, Nicholson, and Corey Burke into the game? That's just thinking ahead, if in case they do not start tomorrow. How do you utilize the trio?
Well, when you look at the team, they played in Mexico and they're absolutely going to Costa Rica. The likes of Mikel Antonio and company will not be in Costa Rica. But at the same time, I think you have to rest some of the players right now because when you look at the squad is going to be probably 23 and you have 8 players coming in. And you're going to sit some players out. I think Corey Burke might be rested tomorrow and Bowser might be rested tomorrow. And it's good for them, to sit in the stands and watch the game and take it easy for once and cheer your teammates on and know that they're gonna do well. And then the next one is Wednesday and you're in Wednesday. So I mean, some people have to rest, some people have to play. And if they play well, I mean, I'm for it. And if not, I'm for it.
Coach, you've been watching the Reggae Boys since you was a little lad in Jamaica. So that's decades upon decades, but you still look young. So what's the main difference between that 1998 World Cup squad and this current squad that's trying to get to the World Cup? What is there any similarities and also is there any key differences?
Absolutely. I think the difference between that squad and this squad is I probably would say the coach. The coach has a philosophy. René Simons, he has a philosophy, and the guys bought into the philosophy. He went to England and he scouted a few Jamaicans there, brought them into the team. I'm not gonna say the unity was 100%, but the guys stuck together and they deliver. And I think this team, honestly, I think this team has more talent than the '98 team, and I hope they can put it together because if they put this together, I can tell you this Jamaica's team is a scary one to face.
I think when when you mention philosophy, it seems to be one of Tapa's philosophies that he's very keen to push on with the defensive side of the game, the physical side of the game, and I think that's one player that springs to mind that should benefit from the physical side of the game is no doubt Mikel Antonio.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's strange because of the nature of the coach. The coach was an attacking player, skillful attacking player, and now he's coaching the game and he's more on the defensive side. I think it's you have to learn to transition, and I think the coach has learned a lot, and this is his way, and I am with him because if you can prevent the goals from going and you can score a few goals, you'll be fine. You'll be okay.
Do you think the reason why he's held back on quite a few occasions in previous matches, do you think that comes down to maybe he doesn't fully trust the players to say, I'm giving you the ability, particularly in the midfield area, to just roam freely and express yourself? Do you think that's because he probably doesn't have the right players that he can put soul trust into?
I'm not gonna say that. I think he trusts his players, and I think tomorrow we might see something different. Because with the nature of these players that are there and the back line that you have and the midfield that you have, I think you might see a little bit of free play where he have his player go out and play freely. And once he can be like that and loosen up, you never know what can happen. We probably could win 4-0, 5-0.
But would that not be, I mean, since we're saying that tomorrow's game against Panama, you might see players roaming freely. Would that not be down to the fact that there's a possibility that he might be adding one or two debuts to players that would then allow like the midfield area to be more creative and, like we said, roam freely.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think when you look at the team and analyze the team, if you have so much attacking prowess in your team, you have to allow them to exploit other teams and explore. You can't shackle them because if you shackle them, you're getting them out of their comfort zone, and you need to have them comfortable in what they do.
I think there's a few things that we need to focus on going into tomorrow's game, and discipline is definitely one of them. Unfortunately, over the last couple of games, we've been guilty of having a solid 15 minutes, and for some reason, I can't quite put my hand on it, but we keep on taking our foot off the gas. So we just need to understand that. I'm sure the players know already, but they need to just always remember that 15 minutes is great. A good 15 minutes is great, but a football match is more than 15 minutes. So I think they just need to be a little bit more disciplined and just know that, you need to get something out of these games, because it's bad enough that we opened up the World Cup qualifier with a loss, but playing on home soil, we definitely need to kickstart our campaign.
And when you look at it, if they take the game in stages, you play the first 15 minutes hard and attack the team hard, and then the second 15 minutes you might cool off a little bit and you set up a good defensive plan, and then the last 15 minutes before you go into the break, you take them again. I
Mhm.
mean, you have to plan the game, but if you're gonna play it 45 minutes or 30 minutes and then for the rest of the game you don't get anything from the team, it's not the way to go.
Definitely not. Fingers crossed we do come out of the national stadium tomorrow celebrating. I know I'm going to be cheering for the boys, and I know coach will be doing the same as well. And for the viewers, I hope that you will be the best 12th man and get behind the lads, because they do need us. Like I said, we will be on home soil. So hopefully tomorrow will be the day where we show up and kickstart our journey to Qatar.
Absolutely. I just urge the fans at home, put their colors on. As you see, I'm not leaving mine. You put their colors on, cheer the boys on. I know they can't hear you, but they can feel your presence. They could think about there's 35,000 people or 40,000 people in the stadium, and they're watching us and they're behind us, and just give them that extra push, and I think they will deliver.
I know we touched on Mr. Michael Hector in our last preview back at the Gold Cup stage. And what do you make of Michael Hector? Do you think that this is a player with the additions that we've brought into the team? Do you think that we'll see Michael Hector in the squad for our October fixtures?
Absolutely. Big Heck, if I understand right, he asked to be excused from this first three games, and I think Jamaica, they love Big Heck, and
Yes, yes.
and I was one of the person who recommend him at a young age to play for Jamaica, and I think he has found a club now. I'm not 100% certain, but I think he might be playing in Scotland next. And I hope that he will be playing good football and he will be back in the national team sooner than later.
Yeah, I second that. The reason why I brought up Big Heck, I feel like I talk about him in every preview match, just because I think that he's given good service to his country over the years. Yes, he's not a fan favorite, but just like Adrian Mariappa, when Jamaica calls, he shows up. And I think, just to back what you've said, he's definitely deserving of another call up. So seems to be the reason why he's not with us is down to him trying to secure another club. Hopefully he can get that sorted out as a matter of urgency and link up with the squad for the October fixtures, because I think that he'll add to our squad depth.
And absolutely, I'm gonna use one word to describe Michael Hector to the Jamaica national team, and he is committed.
Yes.
He's committed to the cause. He wants to be there. Anytime Jamaica calls on Big Heck, he's always ready to answer the call.
And it's authentic as well. It's not something that he's looking and thinking, well, yeah, this is a cheeky little holiday. Like you said, he is committed, a true professional. So again, I would love to see Michael Hector receive a call up for the October fixtures, because I definitely think that he's deserving of that.
And I think he will be there. I think he will be there because when you look at the Gold Cup, I think he has a good Gold Cup, and
Yeah,
for him not to be here now, but I mean, it's personal reason. He has other
yeah.
things to look about, and I hope he will be happy in the near future, and we can see him back in national colors.
I look forward to that. Coach, I'm going to let you run because I know that I said that I wouldn't take up too much of your time. And I'm looking at the clock and we have just gone over our half an hour mark. So I want to bring you back on my channel again. So I'm going to stick to my words and cut our chat short. But hopefully tomorrow we'll be celebrating three lovely points, if not worst case tomorrow, a draw. So, Coach, thank you so much for blessing me with a moment of your time. It's always a pleasure speaking to you, and no doubt we'll definitely do this again.
It's always a pleasure, Crystal, to be here, and I wish the boys all the best, and we hope for a win.
Thank you, Coach.
Cheers.